The Doberman doesn't always reveal danger through growls or barks, its warning comes in a moment of stillness, when the world around it slows but its mind begins to calculate. And by the time an unprepared owner realizes what that stillness truly meant, the decision inside the dog has already been made. A Doberman studies everything long before it reacts, reading posture, tone, tension, and intent with an intelligence far deeper than most people realize. Its first line of defense is not aggression, but observation, a quiet scan of the room that tells it what its role should be. The breed's loyalty is powerful, but that same loyalty can harden into suspicion when the dog senses pressure or conflict around the people it protects. What many owners miss is how early that shift begins, faint signals buried in the dog's eyes and body language. The Doberman leans subtly forward when its instincts activate, structuring its weight for balance rather than movement. The tail, whether docked or intact, shifts slightly to stabilize the body, hinting at a readiness the owner often fails to understand. A soft closing of the mouth replaces the loose, relaxed pant seen during calm moments. The air around the dog changes as its muscles tighten in small, nearly invisible ripples along the shoulders and spine. People assume the Doberman warns loudly, but the truth is the opposite. The more serious the threat feels, the quieter the dog becomes. Silence is its strategy, a controlled pause designed to give it time to read what others cannot. Inside that silence, the Doberman's mind breaks the moment into pieces, interpreting tone, movement, and patterns with remarkable precision. This is the point where its instinct takes over, stepping ahead of human judgment. Many owners misread this posture as confidence or calmness, unaware that the dog has shifted into a decision-making state. Only experienced handlers recognize how quickly calm can turn into calculated intervention. The Doberman is sensitive to emotional energy, responding to things humans dismiss as mood or stress. Raised voices, sudden gestures, or conflicting commands all act like signals the dog was bred to interpret. What makes this breed exceptional also makes it overwhelming. It reacts not to the surface, but to the feelings beneath it. When emotions spike in the environment, the Doberman prepares itself long before anyone notices a change. Some dogs retreat from tension, but the Doberman moves toward it, believing its place is between danger and the person it trusts. This instinct is what creates fierce loyalty, and also unexpected risk for unprepared owners. The Doberman's eyes narrow slightly as it focuses, tracking micromovements in the environment that would be invisible to most people. Its ears angle not just toward sound, but toward vibration and intent. The real warning sign appears before any visible reaction, a complete stillness that feels unnatural to those who know the dog well. This stillness is not fear or uncertainty, but concentration. The chest expands with a slower, deeper breath, preparing the muscles to respond without hesitation. The dog holds that breath for a brief moment, locking its body into a stable frame. This is the point most owners overlook, the transition from awareness to decision. Once crossed, the Doberman acts with speed and certainty that no corrective command can stop. Inexperienced owners often interpret this stillness as obedience, failing to understand that leadership has already shifted to the dog. By the time they speak, the Doberman has already committed to a path. This is not disobedience, it is instinct, shaped by generations of protective breeding. The Doberman believes it must act, especially when leadership feels unclear. When mixed signals come from the environment or from the owner, the dog fills that void with instinctive judgment. This is where loyalty becomes both a strength and a challenge. What seems like a calm dog is, in reality, a guardian calculating whether to intervene. Its senses stretch far beyond what the human eye or ear can detect. The Doberman's sensitivity makes it an extraordinary protector, but also makes it vulnerable to misinterpretation. Without structure, the dog begins to take responsibility for situations it shouldn't control. The warning sign grows sharper when the dog tilts its head just slightly downward, aligning its eyes for a more direct line of sight. That change shifts the energy of the moment immediately. A slow, deliberate step forward follows, subtle enough to miss unless you know what you're looking for. This single step signals that the dog believes escalation may be required. The Doberman's instincts don't flare suddenly, they build, layer by layer, in sequences most owners never learn to recognize. It's the accumulation of these micro-signals that determines the outcome. The most overlooked detail is the tension in the dog's jaw, a small quiver that lasts less than a second. That quiver is the body deciding how much control it needs to maintain. The shoulders lower just slightly, redistributing weight into the front limbs. This shift marks the point where the dog can launch forward faster than a human can react. By the time this posture appears, the Doberman is no longer watching the scene, it is preparing to influence it. And for owners who don't understand these signals, this moment arrives too late. The moment the Doberman believes responsibility has shifted to it, everything in the room becomes a potential trigger. What the owner perceives as normal noise becomes a pattern the dog analyzes with intense precision. Its body moves with a confidence that feels almost effortless, but beneath that calm surface is a mind calculating outcomes. The Doberman is not waiting for permission, it is waiting for confirmation. When uncertainty rises in the home, the Doberman becomes hyper-attuned to small details most people ignore. A slight change in posture, a tense breath, or an unfamiliar sound becomes a signal that something is wrong. This breed was designed to react before danger strikes, not after, and that instinct remains as sharp today as it was generations ago. The danger lies not in aggression, but in the dog's ability to predict and act before a human understands the situation. Its protective instinct is strongest when it feels responsible for someone emotionally attached to it. The deeper that bond, the faster and more decisively the dog responds. Owners often confuse this intensity with affection, unaware of how tightly those emotions are woven into the Doberman's identity. Love for this breed is not passive, it is active, vigilant, and ready to defend without hesitation. The warning sign intensifies when the Doberman begins to angle its body between a person and what it perceives as a threat. This positioning is not accidental, it is strategic. The head lowers just slightly, giving the dog control over both sight lines and balance. The muscles along the back firm into a straight line as if the dog is drawing strength from its own structure. Its breathing shifts again, deeper and slower, as if conserving power for what might come next. Every part of its body begins aligning for efficiency, not comfort. At this point, even soft sounds carry meaning, a footstep, a whisper, the rustle of clothing. The Doberman absorbs these cues like a soldier scanning a battlefield. Owners often miss the way the dog's gaze changes direction without moving its head. The eyes become sharper, calculating angles and distance with unsettling accuracy. It is in this phase that the dog decides whether the situation requires intervention or restraint. And that decision is made in fractions of a second. The Doberman's restraint is what surprises those who don't understand the breed. It holds back not because it is unsure, but because it is measuring the moment. That restraint, however, is also the most dangerous misunderstanding owners fall into. They mistake it for obedience rather than controlled readiness. If tension continues to rise, the Doberman's stance shifts into corrective action, not reckless motion, but precise, deliberate movement. Every step is placed with intention. The dog's ears, whether cropped or natural, angle to capture even the smallest inflection in sound. They no longer react playfully, they assess. Its jaw, previously tense, tightens just slightly as the dog evaluates whether force might be required. That tightening is the final physical cue before the Doberman commits. Owners who miss this sign realize too late that the dog is no longer asking for leadership, it is assuming it. And once the Doberman takes control, its instincts override incomplete training. This breed was designed to make decisions in pressure-filled moments, and that legacy comes through with powerful intensity. Even the gentlest Doberman carries the blueprint of its protective heritage. The warning sign becomes unmistakable when the dog shifts its weight onto its front legs, grounding itself. That grounding prepares the body for explosive speed if the situation escalates. If no threat appears, the dog relaxes slowly, though never completely. It remains aware, processing details even when its posture softens. The aftermath of these moments leaves many owners confused, unsure why their dog behaves so intensely. What they don't realize is how much the Doberman suppresses for the sake of maintaining control. This breed lives in a world where every moment carries meaning, tension, energy, tone, movement, all blending into instinctive judgment. Understanding this judgment is essential to preventing miscommunication. A Doberman owner must recognize these warning signs long before escalation. Leadership must be consistent, calm, and confident, or the dog fills the void with its own instinct. When leadership and structure are clear, the Doberman becomes one of the most dependable and emotionally aligned dogs on earth. Its instincts transform from potential danger into controlled protection. Without that structure, the same instincts become overwhelming, pushing the dog into decisions the owner never intended to provoke. It is not malice, it is purpose without guidance. The Doberman thrives when it feels it has a role, a direction, and a leader it respects. That respect is earned through clarity, not force. When a Doberman trusts its owner's consistency, the warning signs become moments of communication, not escalation. The dog learns that calmness, not intervention, is the correct response. But if structure is missing, the Doberman's extraordinary sensitivity becomes a burden it carries alone. That burden shapes its reactions, its posture, and its emotional stability. Owners must understand that with a Doberman, Silence always means something. That silence can be loyalty, or a signal that the dog is preparing to take control. The warning sign every owner misses is not aggression, it is responsibility. The moment the Doberman believes the situation belongs to it, everything changes. Recognizing these signals is the key to unlocking the breed's true potential. And with the right structure, the Doberman becomes not just a guardian, but a companion defined by dignity, purpose, and unwavering devotion.